What's going on, everybody? This your boy Isaiah coming to you again. Subscribe, like, comment, share all my videos. Make sure you hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. You know what? Screw all that intro mess and screw all that. Welcome to Bucco's Lockup. Glad you can join this channel for the 2019-2020 season. And as you can see, we have the debut of Bruce Arians' no risk, no biscuit type approach for this season. We're going against the San Francisco 49ers. They are coming to Raymond James Stadium. They are coming to take over the ship. And we got some firepower for them to deal with this Bruce Arians system. Offensively and defensively. You know, Todd Bowles, you know, his 3-4 aggressive attacking defense, blitzing like crazy. Expect to see a lot of stuff going on defense. But let's get right down to the details and what I think is going to happen. I'm not going to take too long, but let's get to it. Bucs versus 49ers. Jameis Winston, Jimmy G. Bruce Arians, Kyle Shanahan. Todd Bowles and the 49ers defensive coordinator, right? Bucs O-line, San Francisco D-line. San Francisco O-line, Bucs D-line. You know, all these matchups, right? But the one key matchup that I'm going to be watching for the Bucs is the Bucs O-line versus the 49ers D-line. And we've seen the issues in preseason on that O-line in game 3 that has raised a lot of flags. Can Donovan Smith and Ryan Jensen and Alex Kappa and Dotson, you notice I didn't mention Alec Marpet, can those four hold up against DeForest Buckner, D Ford, who they signed in the offseason or traded? I forgot who was signed or traded. D Ford. They drafted Nick Bosa. They got Eric Armstead. They got Solomon Thomas. These are all first round talents on that D line that's going to be rotating in and out. And they go deep. They go about 8 deep. Can the Bucs O-line hold up? Can we run the ball? Everything is predicated from that line. The trenches is very important for this game. This is one of the better D-lines we're going to play all season long. First test of the season, a powerful D-line, a top 10 based on paper D-line. If that 49ers D-line play up to their production and potential, they will be a top 5 D-line. If D4 gets about 12, 13 sacks and DeForest Buckner get about 9 or 12 and Bosa has about 8, you get where I'm going with this. This D-line is a beast. Watch the tape on them. They're all good. And we have issues with twitchy pass rushers like D Ford. Now, as far as big guys like DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, Bosa, we don't have too much issues with them. It's those twitchy guys like Olivier Vernon. Remember, we've seen that in the Browns preseason game, So they got a guy named D Ford. He's a twitchy guy. And Donovan Smith, Donovan Smith, Dotson, I'm going to need you to block that guy. Because if you can't block that guy, Jameis Winston will get sacked. And he will be under duress. And he will get happy feet, which will cause turnovers. We don't want that of Jameis Winston. We want him to play a solid game. He can play a solid game. We've seen that. But that O-line is very, very, very important. But outside of that key matchup, there's other matchups that you can look at too. The Bucs linebackers and safeties versus George Kittle, that monster tight end. Can we cover George Kittle? Can we cover that guy? He's a monster. He's a Pro Bowl tight end. He's a top 5 tight end. He's very good without the catch. He runs like a deer, and he can kind of block pretty decent too. Can the linebackers and safeties cover him? Can Todd Bowles draw up a scheme to control him? Because Kyle Shanahan loves to run the ball and play action. He loves that play action passing game, that zone read running game, that zone blocking scheme that he loves to do. He loves that play action pass, roll out, bootleg type, setup. I've watched Kyle Shanahan for quite some time as an OC, and his offense don't too much change. It's pretty much a zone blocking scheme, and it's a play action bootleg type scheme in passing with a lot of misdirection. And the Bucs have a lot of issues with misdirection. But a 3-4 is designed to speed the quarterback's thought process up with all the blitzing. A 3-4 blitzing team it eliminates a lot of the plays that an offense can do to set you up. it makes the quarterback think really quick, and it disguises itself. So I'm looking forward to seeing the new 3-4 defense that Todd Bowles has implemented this offseason with all these parts that have talent but hasn't been reached to the potential that it should, like Vernon Hargreaves, right? So we got some new pieces, Shaq Barrett, we got Dominican Sue, we got Anthony Nelson, which is he's an underrated pass rusher. We got Devontae Bond. We're going to have him come off the edge. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this all turns out. Specifically in Dominican Sue and Vita. I'm definitely interested to see them two wreak some havoc. Vita is going to play. Looking forward to that. I'm very curious to see what Devontae Bond do off the edge. I'm going to see what he can do because they cut Noah Spence because of him and Damian Harris. So those two I'm really interested in seeing. Nassib is going to get some pressure, good pressure. Jimmy G coming off an ACL injury. A lot of question marks about him. I think the 3-4 defense is going to speed him up and make him think quickly. It's going to be a couple games before he can get in his rhythm. He's catching the Bucs at a very I ain't gonna say a bad time, but we're gonna be hungry. So Jimmy G needs a few weeks before he gets back to his normal self, but we're gonna see how much pressure the Bucs will put on him. It will be a lot of pressure. It will be a lot of blitzing. So Jimmy G is gonna have to make quick decisions. He's a very smart quarterback, but we're gonna see him in live action for the first time, basically in a year. So looking forward to that. The secondary, as far as going against the 49ers receivers, I would say we will have the slight advantage because 49ers don't have a true number one. They have a bunch of number threes. Their receivers are mostly threes. Based on looking at their receiving core. Marquise Goodwin, he's a burner. Deebo Samuel, he can be a pretty good guy. I seen him in college at South Carolina. Jalen Hurd is decent. I watched him at Tennessee and Baylor, but he's hurt. Trent Taylor's like a little Adam Humphrey, but he's hurt. Kendrick Bourne, he's okay. We should be able to control the receivers. It's George Kittle. Levante, Devin White, and those safeties got to control that guy. That offense will move with him. Darian Stewart, Jordan Whitehead, Mike Edwards, Justin Evans, Dean, Carlton Davis, Vernon Hargreaves. George Kittle will be running around there all day long, right? So we're going to see how we cover, George Kittle. And if you notice, I'm really specifically focusing on the defense right now. I'm talking about them because there's a lot of question marks on some players like Vernon Hargreaves, MJ Stewart. We got some issues. He has a lot of issues in secondary. So if we can't control the 49ers secondary, we're going to have a long. If we can't control the 49ers passing game, we're going to have a long season. If Jimmy G comes out there and throws for 330 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks, none of those sacks, it will be a disaster afterwards, right? But because that's not how you want to start the season out. But I don't believe that will happen. I believe we will sack Jimmy G quite a few times. And he might even throw a couple picks, But we're going to put that pressure on him because of our 3-4 defense. It's a very aggressive defense, like I said. I believe Devin White is going to have a big game. He didn't do much in preseason. I know a lot of people was like, what the hell, But I think Devin White's going to really show what he can do because a lot of people was talking about Brian Burns and Josh Allen and Devin Bush. But Devin White stayed under the radar. He's been doing his thing, and they finna unleash him this game. He's gonna be all over the place. Watch. You can see it. You can see it coming. Can we get pressure? Yes, we can. The tackles for 49ers are pretty decent. Joe Staley, long in the tooth, and Mitch McGlinley, young guy, pretty decent run blocking, but pass blocking suspect. So we should be able to get some pressure with our front 6. Front 5, whatever, depending on how many people we blitzing. It's very hard to play against a 3-4, especially like a 3-4 like Todd Bowles. So he has more talent on this defense than he had in the Jets. Jets had a little bit of talent, but it wasn't like that great. They had Jamal Adams, but he has a little bit more talent, on this team than he had on the Jets team. So we're going to see how it looks against the 49ers offense and Kyle Shanahan's zone blocking scheme and play action passing scheme. So offensively, I think we're gonna move the ball through the air. We're we're going to move the ball through the air quite a bit. The running game, I'm just not sold on the running game totally yet. Peyton Barber is okay. You know, Rojo got a lot of question marks. I just need to see the running game actually do something. You know, Peyton Barber's not an explosive back, so he's not going to wow you. You know, Rojo is an explosive back, but does he have the confidence? Can he block on third downs? You know what I'm saying? Can he catch the ball? So that's a concern there. Of course, the O-line. And then the biggest concern, the biggest question mark, I guess, is how Jameis Winston will play with the O-line, giving up a lot of pressure. He's going to have to avoid some sacks, folks. Let's be honest. With that front four, or that front, I guess you could say front five, the 3D line, and 2 outside linebackers. He's going to have to avoid some sacks against D Ford and Bosa if he plays, and DeForest Buckner and Eric Armstead and Solomon Thomas. It's just what it is, folks. Our O-line is not great. It hasn't looked good in preseason, like especially that third game when they went against some real D linemen that's going to be starting. Olivier Vernon and Myles Garrett, you know, Sheldon Richardson. They basically made us look like Pee-wee, made the Bucs O-line look like a Pee-wee or high school O-line. So Donovan Smith is going to have his hands full along with Dotson with D Ford. And as far as interior, DeForest Buckner will give Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen, and Alex Cappa some problems. And Quan Alexander will be starting too. So can he cover O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate? Probably not. He had coming off an ACL injury last year as well. He struck big with a contract with the 49ers. He went with the money, even though the Bucs would have re-signed him, but he chose the money. That's fine. But he just better prepare to get roasted by O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. We're healthy. The offense is healthy all the way through. There is no injuries really. So the O-line should come out. The offense should come out firing through the air. I am very curious to see how this running game is going to go. Bruce Arians did say he is going to commit himself to the running game. But you know, if you watch Bruce Arians over the years and his offense, they like to throw the ball down the field. There are going to be a lot of routes that's down the field. Now, he did say on the caveat, even though there's down the field routes, he said Carson Palmer did it because he knew the system. There is routes designed for Jameis Winston to not throw the ball down the field all the time. I think Bruce Arians is going to challenge Winston, play within the system. You're not ready to play outside of the system. Play within the system, take the easy completions, the smart decisions, and you will end the game with no interceptions and a couple touchdowns. It's just that simple. But can Jameis Winston be disciplined enough to take the instructions that Bruce Arians and Brian Leftwich, give him, and Clyde Christensen? That's all James got to do. Play within the system right now. Learn the system. Understand the check downs. I'm going to be looking for him to check the ball down. I know a lot of people don't like that. They call him Captain Check Down or Charlie Check Down. If Jameis Winston goes 20 for 28 for 260 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, I'm fine with that. If he goes 17 for 26 for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, I'm fine with that. No interceptions, no fumbles. I want to see Jameis Winston come out of this game with no turnovers, because I'm telling you folks, you know how this works. A lot of Bucs fans don't like him, and the media don't like him, especially ESPN, Louis Riddick, and Max Kellerman. If Jameis Winston turns the ball over one time and we lose by 3 points, they're going to highlight him. He's still turning the ball over. It don't matter if the O-line gave up the sack, a blindside sack, a blindside hit. It don't matter if the ball was tipped because of pressure from the D-line, because the O-line didn't block. It's the fact that Jameis Winston turned the ball over, and it's going to be like, see, he can't get out of his own way. He's going to hurt the team. So Jameis Winston has to focus, really focus, and show people that he is a top quarterback. The reason why he was the number 1 pick, he needs to leave this game with no turnovers. Y'all know this. So we're going to see how he plays within this no risk it, no biscuit system. Is it always taking a risk? You know what I'm saying? Or is he going to be disciplined enough to check the ball down? And the 49ers defense is going to be banking on him to be aggressive. We're going to see a new Jameis Winston, hopefully. He checks the ball down. We'll be okay. Our receivers are going to be just fine. I don't see the 49ers outside of Richard Sherman, and he's pretty much almost done as far as washed up. If he guards Mike Evans, he's going to get toast. If any 49er receiver any 49er cornerback or safety guards Mike Evans, Mike Evans, he's going to beat them all. I mean, I don't see anybody in the secondary that can guard Mike Evans. I don't care if you got Richard Sherman. He's not the same player. Everybody knows that. He's been hurt, and he's old in the tooth. You got Jason Verrett. He always hurt, never healthy. Most likely he'll probably end this game on IR. No shots at him, but he just never going to stay healthy. He got talent, just can't stay healthy. He can't guard Mike Evans. He hasn't played that much football in the last few years because he's always hurt. And they got They got a couple other guys in the secondary. Weatherspoon, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, not impressed with the secondary. Our receivers should be able to run circles around them. Perriman, Godwin, and Evans. As long as Jameis Winston got protection, we should be okay. So with all that being said, here's my prediction: the Bucs will win the game. And of course, everybody throws their score out there. I'm going to say the Bucs will win the game, 24-17. I got 24-20. Jameis Winston plays a good game, and we will win this game in Tampa. Start the season off at 1-0, and the 49ers will lose this game and go 0-1. Jimmy G will be sacked a few times and maybe have a turnover or two, and we'll make all our kicks. And there will be a surprise, some type of surprise play in the game, a big moment that the Bucs will come through, whether it's defense or offense. So, tell me what you guys think about this game. How do you feel how the Bucs is going to play out against the 49ers, the first game of the season, the debut of Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles, and this whole new risk it, no biscuit type setup? Leave it in the comment section. Send me an email, firethecannons@gmail.com. Firethecannons813@gmail.com. Leave it in the comment section. Share my videos. You know what it is. We are here. Finally here. 2019-20 season. Buccaneers Soccer is here. Live and ready. Looking forward to commentating the game. I might do some live commentating on my Facebook, in the Buccaneers Soccer Facebook group. So if you haven't subscribed or liked the Facebook group for Buccaneers Soccer, go ahead and do that. I might do some live streaming or some live commentating in the Facebook group this Sunday, so stay tuned for that. With that being said, we got here, folks. I want y'all to fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, and our new slogan for this year: no risk, no biscuit. Enjoy your day. Buccaneers Soccer out. Peace.